Hello guys, welcome back to Morning Chats. It's been a minute since I've done morning chats. I actually have just finally recovered from having a case of COVID. It was really debilitating. It was hard. I couldn't really do much, and to be back and working is incredible. Like, I honestly missed you guys. I missed working, and I'm just so happy to be back. So thank you to everyone for being patient and understanding, and I'm ready to get back into it, get back into morning chats, and for us to just like have these really dope discussions. So today we're gonna be talking about how to use your imposter syndrome to your benefit. And the reason why I wanted to do this video was because I feel like a lot of videos are made about how to get rid of your imposter syndrome, which I think is good to a degree. But I think that if you do suffer from this and it is difficult for you to get rid of it, let's try to figure out a way to use it to our benefit when it comes to, our life, when it comes to maybe work or relationships or honestly just bettering ourselves as an individual. I definitely think that we can use it to our benefit. If you do not know what imposter syndrome is, I actually have a written down exact definition for you guys. So it's the persistent inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved as a result of one's own effort or skill. So you honestly just feel like a fraud. You feel like you don't belong, even if you earned your stripes. Let's just say, for instance, you went to school for 8 years to be a doctor, you're a surgeon, and people are telling you how amazing you are every day and how great of a job you're doing, and you don't actually feel it yourself. You don't feel that self-worth that everyone is giving you and telling you that you are. You're not feeling like you actually are that great, which I think I've suffered from my entire life due to possibly childhood trauma and just different situations that have happened in my life. I definitely think have built imposter syndrome over years and years and years to come. So I want to help you guys out if you guys are suffering from it as well. Yeah. Let's just get into it. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and I hope I will never be gone again. I missed you guys way too much. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so I have a little story to tell you guys about, a very small story, about maybe the first time that I noticed I had imposter syndrome. So I have always been very anal retentive when it comes to detail. And I think that when we are suffering from imposter syndrome, we normally don't feel like we're good enough. So what do? We constantly try to be better, which is a positive thing in many different ways. And when I was younger, I actually was in class, and our teacher had told us that we all needed to draw a picture of the weather that was happening outside that day. And whoever's picture was the best was going to be featured in the newspaper. And of course, me, being me, I'm like, oh my God, I would love to be picked for something like that. Like, that is so me. And genuinely, I was freaking out because there was a girl that actually sat right next to me. And I used to always like peek over at all of her stuff, and I noticed how beautiful her penmanship was, how beautiful she drew, how beautiful she colored. Like, she would always color in the lines so perfectly. And I would literally try to mimic her. Like, it was like my goal to be as good as her at, detail and making my whatever it is look nice. So of course I'm freaking out because I know I'm not going to win this thing, but it didn't matter. I was going to try so hard. So the first thing that's really great about having imposter syndrome is that we pay attention to detail. And I think that because I was so difficult on myself and I was so trying hard to like get this coloring situation down, I actually ended up winning this amazing opportunity to be featured in the newspaper. I wish I had a picture of it, but I have it somewhere in my photo albums because I did get featured in the newspaper. I saw my little art, put up in the paper, and it was incredible. And I couldn't believe that I won over like the girl who I thought maybe would have won. And the reason why is because I think she's just good at things. She's probably told all the time how great she is. I mean, I don't really know exactly her life story, but she was always good at things. So maybe she didn't try as hard as I did. And I think that you can use your imposter syndrome of always feeling like you're inadequate or always feeling like you're not good enough and use it to your advantage because honestly, at the end of the day, we love to win or we love to get something or we like to be recognized. And a lot of the times it takes having that self-doubt that ends up pushing you further along, if that makes sense. So honestly, to really sum up the entire story, my obsession with winning, or my obsession with wanting to be really good at drawing and to be really good at, whatever I needed to be good at in that situation, which was coloring a picture of the weather, ended up making me win the competition because I was so difficult on myself and I have so much, issue with making sure that everything is perfect. Another way you can use your imposter syndrome to your benefit is when it comes to other people. Something that I've noticed, at least for me, is that I'm a more empathetic and understanding of a person. And the reason why is because I think I put all the pressure on myself that I alleviate so much of it for other people. And in ways, I think this makes really good friendships, it makes really good relationships because you're an empath. You're somebody who understands what it feels like to go through whatever a person's going through, and you end up becoming more understanding and empathetic. And I just find that we are so difficult on ourselves and we are so difficult even sometimes on others that a lot of the times we usually are less difficult on others than we are on ourselves, and it just allows us to be a good friend to those in need when they need us. So definitely use your imposter syndrome of, feeling like you're not good enough and you're not this and you're not that, and all of that negativity that you put on yourself, and you usually put, all of your positivity in other directions. But I do want to mention that it is important to be kind to yourselves and to give yourself a break every once in a while and to not overdo it in the, self-doubt and the self-disrespect. Something else that I want to mention is you will probably most likely get the job, whatever job it is. Being somebody with imposter syndrome is usually a perfectionist. It's usually somebody who wants to constantly do better because you never, ever, ever see a good version of yourself or the best version. For me personally, I've always pushed myself super hard in life in hopes that I would feel some sort of happiness or gratification in that. And because of that, others notice how great you are at things, and it's an endearing quality for those who are either trying to give you a job or whatever and whatnot. And a lot of the times, the hard parts that we see in ourselves are actually a lot less than to other people. And I've just noticed that throughout life, that I've always, been able to have the life of my dreams, the job of my dreams, and all of that because I am always thinking that things are worse than they actually are. So in reality, somebody else can perceive my hard work and my efforts as amazing, endearing, incredible, and I view it as I could be doing better, I should probably have pushed myself more, or whatever it is. And it ends up being that you are your biggest critic, which is kind of a good thing in life. You don't want to be someone who is extremely not with it, and you end up thinking that you're better than you are. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I definitely think that your imposter syndrome will probably play into making you a better version of, yourself. And a lot of times other people will view you as incredible and great, and they're going to want to hire you or, be in your life or whatever it is that they're exactly looking for with you. But I definitely think that this is something that is an endearing and cool thing about suffering from imposter syndrome. A few things that I want to note before closing out today's morning chats is to not allow your imposter syndrome to limit you or to stop you from doing things with your life. I want you to use this type of quality to your benefit and use it to make positive things happen for you. I don't want it to halt you. I don't want you to not do things because you feel like a fraud or you feel like you're not good enough. I want you to say to yourself, I don't feel good enough to be in this room, so I'm going to make myself good enough. People with imposter syndrome usually are really good imitators or able to read the room a lot better than maybe other people. And I think that you should use that to your benefit. Never allow it to make you feel so fraudulent that you won't even show up. I want you to use your imposter syndrome to your benefit, and I want you to use it to allow you to better yourself every single day because you feel so much like an imposter that you end up becoming the actual person that you're trying to be. I don't want it to stop you, halt you, prevent you, limit you in any capacity, because if it does start to do that, then you do need to work on it, and you do need to practice some self-love and some self-care so that you don't allow it to prevent you from having amazing opportunities happen for you in your life. I don't want you to bully yourself. I want you to truly love yourself, and I want you to feel like you belong and like you matter. And a lot of the times we're going to always feel like a little bit like an outcast. We're going to always feel a little bit like we are not fully at the table, but just understand that you are there because you were invited to be there, and you deserve whatever amazing things come your way. And whether you accept that or not, it's going to happen regardless. And hopefully you can try to enjoy the little moments. Okay, guys, I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video on how to deal with your imposter syndrome and how to benefit from it. There are so many little ways that we can use our negative qualities and make them positive. And I hope that this was a good way for you guys to see a brighter side of dealing with something so obnoxious and sometimes a little bit debilitating occasionally. So, yes, make sure that you guys let me know down below how you guys deal with your imposter syndrome. I would love to hear from you. And make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you guys like morning chats. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.